Voices of Baltimore, Life Under Segregation is a film that tells the stories of people who lived separate but unequal.
You didn't see the signs that said white and colored. You saw them when you went downtown.
And some places you just didn't go.
It didn't hold you back. It really propelled you further.
I need to stand up for what is right.
We were arrested, we were tried.
Mediocrity was not acceptable.
Not just for you and your family, but for a whole race of people.
What we saw in 2015 could have happened in the 1930s.
And as Maya Angelou says in Still I Rise, in spite of that, I'm not going anywhere.
Here to talk about the film and the all too recent times it recalls are the show's producers, Morna McNulty and Gary Homana. Good to have you both here.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Congratulations on what appears to be a great film, very moving film. So I got to ask you, you're both educators at Towson University in the elementary ed department, but you've decided to take this project on. So I'm going to ask you, Gary, what was the motivation?
So I teach an urban education course. I was the lead in that course, and one of the instructors asked me to come to his class, and he had a guest speaker. And the guest speaker's name was Evelyn Chapman, and she was speaking about her growing up in Baltimore during Jim Crow and her experiences in education and her life in the community. And I walked away from that just knowing that these stories had to be preserved because these are people in their 80s. Right. And in many ways, those stories will be lost. And so then I talked to Evelyn a little bit. Morna came on the team, and then we started working on the project.
Okay, so timing is always an issue. Why now, Morna? Why do you think this film is so important right now and needs to be done?
I think there was that clip right in the film that you showed in the beginning that says, what happened then could have easily have happened in 2015, and with the advent of the death of Freddie Gray and the rise of Black Lives Matter and the recent election and things that are happening right now, those issues that were experienced in the Jim Crow era are still with us. And until we can reimagine the way we think of history and what we value and whose voices are important to listen to, we're not going to get it right moving forward. So I think we've got to really critically re-examine where we've been to understand where we're going to go.
Okay, so these themes that you're talking about, they resonate now in Baltimore. In what ways, would you say, Gary?
Well, I think that like Morna was saying, I think that the themes of the film are high expectations of individuals and how to realize that you're not only responsible for yourself, but you're responsible for a whole group of people. And one of the key themes that came out in the film was exactly that. It was, you weren't doing this for yourself. You were doing it for your community, and you're doing it to bring people up behind you so that they could achieve what you achieved. So it wasn't just one person succeeding.
I see.
It was a whole race of people succeeding. And community was essential.
Yeah, and community. So speaking of community, what's been the response from the community up to your film?
It's been very favorable. I feel that older generations of people who have come to watch it and identify so much with, oh my gosh, yes, that was exactly our neighborhood too. So there's that connection. And to the younger generation, there's that reaching forward and that reaching back of youth seeking advice, suggestions, support from the older generation that came before them. And it speaks to two key issues that we still have yet to untangle. One is a deficit model of understanding historically Black communities and the way that we mistake desegregation as some universally, yay, we're done, let's move on narrative. And the other is the specter of white privilege, which still undergirds a lot of the systemic oppression that we're experiencing. And I think the film doesn't shy away from having that conversation.
Yeah, so very important topics, Gary.
And some of the other issues building on that. So for example, we were doing some pilot showings of the film and the recent premiere that was on February 16th. And people were saying, this is absolutely necessary. People are crying for this. I teach students in rural Missouri. They need to see a film like this. Or I teach films in Minnesota. I teach classes in Minnesota with Native Americans. They resonate with this. So it's not just an African American race-based issue. It's a wider-based issue of addressing how we understand and communicate with each other and listen to each other so that we can rise above where we are.
Right. Okay. Well, I think this film is wonderful, and I congratulate you both on your intentions and on your success with this. And we encourage people to go online at Towson University on the website. They can find out more about the film and where they may be able to see it and experience it. So thank you again, and congratulations.